Hi, and in this episode, we're going back to basics and talking about frequency. How often should you release your podcast? Well, as a general rule of thumb, I would say the more often you release, the easier it is to build. However,
Yeah, if you try and record and release an episode every week, it will quickly feel relentless. So, here are 3 steps to help you get started with the frequency of your podcast.
okay, step one, how much time do you have? I want you to be really realistic with your time plans here. Think about how long you have to pull these episodes together and the resources you have available. Are you outsourcing any of the editing? Is anyone helping you book those guests? I think this will help you decide how often you put out your podcast. And it's number one thing that we talk about in our podcast courses. You've got to listen to your audience as well. What fits into their day and week? How often do they need you in their lives? And this is really, really useful information for you to build that picture of how often you should release it.
So, step 2, have a consistent schedule. Establish a really predictable release schedule, whether that's weekly, twice weekly, fortnightly, monthly, and then your audience know what to expect, and it helps build the loyalty with your audience. So, how do you decide with the consistency? Well, go back to whether you've got the amount of time you've got. Another thing to mention is whether you record in series or seasons. So instead of looking to release episodes year round, do 3 series or 2 series over the course of the year, you can record everything that you've got in advance and then spend your time marketing it before you launch the episodes. And then you can take a break to reassess and then look at your next series. And you can also have a slightly different theme for each series. So, and a lot of people do that. They take a break over the summer. The natural kind of starting points for new series are January, after Easter, and then in September. So there's quite an easy kind of yearly schedule that you can use.
It also gives you time, doesn't it, to just breathe and to just get, inventive and, imagine new guests or topics. It just gives you the time that you need. We all need that rest. So step 3, I'm going to really go on about this one. It's the content quality rather than the quantity. So, you could be putting out stuff every week or every day, but if it's not good and it's not useful to your audience, just forget it. We've got to have really quality stuff, well produced, engaging content rather than focusing solely on the frequency. So really have a think about what you can put out, when you can put it out, and is it good? It's no good just, churning stuff out just for the sake of keeping to that schedule.
So just to recap, the first thing to think about is how much time you have got to work on your podcast. And it takes a while to kind of get into the swing of things and get into the flow. So try not to be too ambitious when you start. The next thing is consistency. Be really consistent in the frequency of how often you release the episodes. And then finally, the quality versus quantity. You want good quality episodes rather than loads of them. So focus on the quality. And if it makes it easier for you, record in series.
Brilliant. Thanks, Jules. And please, if you've enjoyed today's episode, do me a huge favour. Leave us a 5-star rating and review if you can on Apple Podcasts. It really does help other people to find us. And hit follow so you do not miss a future episode. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.